Okay, my beautiful Aquariuses, this is part 2 of January for 2022. I apologize profusely. I wish I had the skills to put these videos together into one part. It's something I'm working on. I will continue working on that. They did have me, it is evening, but I rewatched the first part of the video just so I could make sure I was back in the flow after saying prayer. So the message has not changed, and we're going to just continue from where we were. So my sincerest apologies, and I'm sure you heard I got a call. It was pretty important, so I picked up. Okay, I'm going to say it the way they wanted me to explain it. Not to say that this reading isn't important. Of course, whenever I get called to do a reading, it's important, or I wouldn't do it. Or I wouldn't be called to it. But normally if I'm in the middle of a reading and I get a call, I decline it, or I wait, or I'll redo the whole video. At least I try to, especially if it's a shorter piece like this. However, that call, it was important for a multitude of reasons. There's a message here in this. It's about the message for you in this. I'll show you why. Okay, I'm going to read this in a second. But when they were talking about too many helpers, too many hands in the pots, in terms of attempting to help you, they're kind of indicating that you need to focus on what's important to you, which they've already said. However, sometimes when we're listening to other people, when we're doing things with other people, we're doing what we think is important, the things that we think are mandatory, if you will. Like I consider this time with you guys sacred. This time with Spirit sacred. But the person that called me was monumentally important in my life as well. And sometimes you have to take stock of what's important and make priorities. And sometimes you have to choose what you're going to do. And sometimes it's okay, especially when you're guided to, and your instincts will tell you when, to set aside something that normally you wouldn't set aside for somebody that you really truly care about, or for something that you really truly care about. And in this case, Aquariuses, the one you guys have not been really setting aside time for, and I'm not talking about sitting in front of the TV, is yourself. This is a deck. I don't know if I've pulled it out for the Aquariuses before, but this is a deck that they've been having me create, and they had me kind of shuffling through this the whole time I was recapping the first part of this video. And nothing had popped out, and they said that I was going to be reading what was on top when I stopped. Well, this is what popped up on top. And I think, unfortunately, although I can see it clearly, I think you guys end up seeing it backwards, so I'm sorry. But, and if anyone knows how to fix that in editing, let me know. But don't abandon your inner child. Stop abandoning yourself for others. And I think the message in that, I know what the message in that for you guys is, it's very clear, is that part of this self-care is that you guys haven't really been doing the things that make you feel passionate about life. And again, rest is very important. So if you've worked a long, hard day, and they're showing me someone specific in my life as an example, but if you worked a hard day and you come home and you sit down and you eat dinner and you sit in front of the TV, that rest is important after a long day. We all need that time to decompress. But it's also important to schedule time for the things that you feel truly passionate about. If you're a very outgoing person, that might be to have a get together with a bunch of friends, every couple of months at least, or once a month. It might be, if you're someone who likes to go out hiking and camping and fishing, it might be to go and do that. But whatever it is, whatever hobby or thing that really just fills your heart with joy, it's important to find that this month and start taking your stress levels down. And now we're going to go ahead and read this again. That was number 34, the winged wise ones. And actually, I want to pull both of these before we read them, since the energy was bleeding into each other. The word Lord in reverse. Communication, praise, or dishonesty. So the question is who's being dishonest, and why is that bleeding into this little, the winged wise ones? So let's read the winged wise ones first. Always allies and never challengers. Yeah, I can't read it as well like that. Sorry, guys. The winged wise ones represent the aid of all the angels. When you enter the realm, know that your sincere prayers will be answered according to the will of the divine. This also represents divine intervention and the potential of miracles to heal and transform as if by magic. I am getting the feeling that this is, well, more than a feeling, it's the words that are popping into my head is someone is not only not necessarily being 100% honest with other people around them, but they're not being honest with themselves about these stressors in their life, about the things that they really want, about what's going on. And it makes, when you do that, it really blocks the universe from helping you, however you see that, whatever you want to call that divine energy. And let's say for just for giggles' sake, and God forgive me, let's say you're an atheist, right? It's still quantum physics. It's still basic energy, and you can't fight the rules of physics. If we create everything, even if you want to say that there is no consciousness to this energy, science is proving more and more how much our thoughts affect everything. So if we're being self-deceptive, then we're fighting against what we really want. We can't manifest both. We can't manifest negative and a positive at the same exact time. Anyway, so I'll finish with that. Have faith, whatever your circumstances. Heavenly beings are watching over you. The winged wise ones give you a glimpse of the future by offering messages, whispering on the wind. These are translated within you as inspired thought, instantly unraveling the past and revealing the present. Be aware of the higher consciousness in you. This is a good time to observe your thoughts through meditation. Who is observing those thoughts? What self is kin to the winged wise ones who have come to help you soar? All right, the number on the word Lord is number 43. That's something else interesting. Talk about canceling each other out, mirror effects. 34 and the reverse. 43. So someone is definitely, there's some self-deception going on, and I get it. The energy I'm receiving, at least for the Aquarius or Aquariuses I'm picking up on, is that of someone who is almost doggedly determined to not be weak. They're not going to go down. So they're not going to acknowledge the back pain. They're not going to acknowledge the pain in their shoulder. They're not even going to complain about it to anybody. And maybe they believe that that's a good positive thing in manifesting. But if our bodies are expressing pain, if they're expressing something, it means that there's a deeper issue at play. By ignoring it mentally and lying to yourself and saying, well, I'm not really in pain, it doesn't actually help in the manifestation process because, and here's the because, Your subconscious mind can only manifest that which it believes is true. If your back is hurting, physically hurting, and you're sitting there telling yourself it doesn't hurt, but you're not also actively doing something to solve the problem, then you can't manifest the cure. You can't manifest good health. You can continue, and after a while, your subconscious mind will bring about the actions that will manifest good health. But that is a longer process, and one in which you don't necessarily have to go through. Whereas if you just take the time to slow down, acknowledge the pain, really look into it, whether that's looking into your what did I do today? If it's not a normal pain, this is obviously not something if it's kind of chronic or ongoing on a regular basis. But if it's a new thing, let's say that it starts all of a sudden today, middle of the day, and you go about, you get through your day, you're pushing through your day, I'm not in pain, I'm fine. That's great for pushing through the day. But the problem is that as you're ignoring it and you're pushing through, you have a potential to do further damage because you're not listening to your body tell you what you need. Whereas if you can take time, and I know this is not always easy, but if you can take the 10 minutes and sit down and say, okay, when did the pain start? What did I do? Did I bend too far? Did I lift too much? What can I do to assist myself in healing quicker and in not feeling this pain, not in ignoring it, but not feeling it? Whether that's, taking a couple of ibuprofen and stopping all lifting for the day and resting and letting the swelling go down, whether that's using hot and cold compresses, whether that's going to a chiropractor, going to a doctor, getting a back brace so it doesn't happen again. It's listening to what you need to do. And if you can take a more active role in that, then you will heal faster. You will speed up that process. Again, manifesting can work with constant, repetitive, I'm not in pain. But if you take a more active role in acknowledging it first, understanding what the root cause is, and saying to your body, I love you enough to take care of this root cause and not harm you any further and not harm you again, that too will speed up the manifesting process because you're also signaling your subconscious mind, I love you enough to take care of you. Okay, I will get off of that lecture, but that was a very strong energy about why these two cards were conflicting. I don't even think we really need to read that one, but I will go ahead and read 43 as soon as I get to that card. Sorry, I know my setup is lacking. We won't go into what my life has been like for the last 3 weeks with bronchitis. You don't want to know. So 43. The word Lord rules communication of all kinds and lets you know that positive interactions can be expected when he arrives as your ally. He only speaks with positive words and praises all he sees. He reminds you of the laws of abundance and praise. And I'm going to skip because this was in the reverse, so we're going to skip to the challenger. That is in his optimum mode when he's not when you're not working against yourself. So the challenger. When the word Lord appears as your challenger, he gently warns of untruths, denials, unsupportive thoughts, and words in any area of your life. If you've been dishonest in any way, it's time to make amends. Change your tune, otherwise your impact on the world. And again, remember, they're referencing the image I'm getting is specifically in terms of your own health, not have you been fibbing to other people, but what have you been telling yourself? Will not be as effective as you would like. Even if you were to be successful as an immediate result, there would be a price to pay later. If others are being unsupportive towards you, know that it's them, not you. Don't take this world personally. Remember that you don't have to engage others when they project their own fears and negativity on you. Another message here is about how you speak about yourself. Do you say self-depreciating words? Do you minimize yourself so as not to intimidate others? Do you refer to yourself as less than beautiful? Time to change those unconscious statements now. It is not difficult to change things, as we are always given a choice to make new decisions. As long as you remain positive and supportive, the rest will quickly melt away until all you perceive is the highest good for all. All you need is a desire to change and to be positive, and the word Lord will help you win the game of life. Now, I'd like to go back to where they said self-depreciating words. Now, when I was talking, it doesn't sound like that applies, but I want you to think about this, and I want you to think about this very carefully when I say this, please. If the one that you love the most in the world, say one of your children, had just injured their back, had just injured their arm, had broken an arm, broken a leg, I am almost certain that anyone that is drawn to watch my channel would not look at that child, look at their child or their wife or their mother or their significant other, somebody that they truly loved, and say, come on, suck it up. You're not really hurt. Get up, walk on that broken leg. Well, I don't care that your back is in pain and you're like got tears leaking out your eyes. Keep going. You've got a job to do. Not one of you would. Not one of the people drawn to my videos. And if you are, you need to take a good hard look at the mirror. That's a whole nother conversation. But I honestly do not feel that kind of energy from anyone that has ever watched any of my videos. And I truly believe that not one of you here would do that. So why would you do it to yourself? That is no different than self-depreciating thoughts, no different than beating yourself up every day. So that's what they're talking about. This last one that had to do with the pins and needles, feeling the rainbow prince, compensation and perseverance, 26. So who's beating themselves up for their job? Because that's the feeling I get. Somebody is what I would... I think some of you guys are working in... I started to say healing field because of the rainbow and the wings here, but I'm also getting service industries as well. There are some of you that are so strong and so determined to keep a smile on your face and a stiff upper lip for the people that you are engaging with on a day-to-day basis, both at home, but they're telling me especially at work, that's kind of where you're not really acknowledging some of what's going on that's more detrimental. 26. But we're going to go ahead and read this because there's more of a message there, they said. All right. When the Rainbow Prince appears as your ally, he reminds you about the law of compensation and the law of receiving. After the rainstorm you've endured on your journey, the Rainbow Prince brings you a pot of gold, which is the result of your using all the elements of your inner light and reaching into the sky until you touch the material realm from one end to the other. This isn't always an easy process, and the hard work must be rewarded by compensation. When you align yourself with the energy of giving the highest value, your compensation is inherent to the act itself. But the message here is more than that. The Rainbow Prince says to keep your sights on the sky after the rainstorm that may have upset your life. Follow your bliss to the pot of gold waiting for you. Perseverance pays off, and your reward will be greater than you can imagine. It wasn't in the challenger position. And please forgive me. I know between the two videos, we're now at 30 minutes. But I'm just asking them why I got the pins and needles feeling over this, over the perseverance. Oh, that's right. Okay. There's pity's sakes. I don't know how I'm going to do this one-handed. Okay, we're going to pause this for a second. They're having me pull, and I forgot I was supposed to pull from this one too, from this deck. I am going to pause it while I shuffle real fast, and I'll be right back. Okay, they're guiding me to somehow make this work so that you can see me shuffle. I guess we have a few doubting Thomases that might be watching. Oh, there was one woman that did it her way, but that's not how I want to do it. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Will this work? Not quite. Okay. I'll do the best I can here. You'll get sound, but you're not exactly getting the video. I'm sorry, everyone. All right, well, let's see what we got. The question was to clarify the rainbow prince. Ace of Pentacles, so more about finances. King of Cups and Ten of Wands. Okay. Ten of Wands usually indicates to me a need to release the burdens. This one feels like someone has burdens they feel like they cannot release. So you're trying to manifest this. You're trying to manifest these dreams that you want, the final goals and outcomes for your life, financially or in other ways. But it's causing, it's the move towards this that you're doing in a very physical sense is causing that bleed over energy into the other stuff because of this health issue or potential health issues. Again, I'm referring to, it can be anything from the stress to the pinched nerves to whatever. Somehow that's what's causing you to go into this self-denial, which is causing you not to take the time to do the things you need to do to heal. Because you have this sense of needing to persevere. The Ten of Wands, it should be about releasing a burden. It's a message too that it's time to release the burdens. And usually in the reverse, it means that the burdens have already been released. In this case, I feel like it feels more like an energy of I can't release the burdens. And here again, you've got the King of Cups, which is usually about an offer of love. In this deck, and now I understand why they told me to use the blue deck. In this deck, the king is represented by the king of the ocean. And we're not going to get into the mythology of different names for different mythoses. And don't even correct me. I know I didn't say that right. But he's in the reverse. There's something more to it. He's looking behind him without looking behind him. It feels like someone, they know that they're at risk of, for lack of a better way to put it, being grounded. That's what I call it when I got bronchitis or when I get really sick. bronchitis doesn't start out as bronchitis. It's a virus. If I take care of myself, and I've done this in the past, if I take care of myself, if I tell everybody else, no, I can't do for you, I can't do this, I can't celebrate this, I have to stay home and stay in bed for a couple of days. If I do that, that common little virus will go away. When I don't, then it goes into bronchitis. It will take me down like it did this time for months. Well, a month and a half or so. You know that's coming. Whoever this is for, whatever group this is for, you guys have already been pushing yourself so hard. You know that there's a potential for that. But you've been ignoring your own feelings about it. You've been ignoring how you feel about what's going on around you. And you've been mostly ignoring yourself. In pursuit of this will come, but one of the warnings about manifesting in that manner, about not being 100% honest, not looking at everything, is at what cost? Because if you get this, and then all of a sudden the world comes tumbling down right after you finally get what you wanted, and you lose everything, what's the point? Whereas if you slow down just a little bit and take time to take care of yourself, you're building a better foundation. It might take you a little bit longer to get to your goal, but when you get there, it'll be more solid because you will be more solid. Anyway, we're now at almost 40 minutes, and please do, if you find this and you find any of this resonates, please do go watch that first part. There is some important extra information in that first part. I'm also going to put a note clearly to watch this part. So, for what it's worth, Aquarius, please start taking care of yourself. I think I'm going to go potentially call an Aquarius I know right now and make sure that they are taking care of themselves. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your January. Be safe. Much love, guys.